Hi, my name's Haley Kiefer, and I'm a sophomore studying elementary education at IU. And this W200 was actually my first education class I've ever taken because I just recently changed my major over to education. So I've had a really positive experience so far. Um, at the beginning of the year, I was really nervous just about like having to be on the computer every day and learning about technology and um, certain resources to use in the classroom just because I'm not super tech savvy, and I was also planning on having a pretty old school classroom, but this class actually really changed my mind. So some of the things that I'm really proud of, well, the first one is my s'more newsletter. Um, I I really love this website because it's easily accessible and like it updates instantly when you edit it. So it'd be a great tool to use as just like a newsletter for parents or students, or you could just post assignments on it. It's super easy. You can customize it to look pretty, and for this I pretended to be like a teacher of a first grade classroom, and I was giving a weekly update. And you can add events on this, so I pretended to add a Pilgrim's Day event, and I just included like the work that they were working on, when it is, where it's at, and like what time and like what events to expect. And I really like it because you can like add so many images, and like it looks really neat and organized. And um, I would use this tool in like any age group that I would teach, because I think it benefits the younger kids who are too forgetful to bring paper copies of things home. But then it's great for the older kids too, because they can like access it at home and like look at assignments and stuff. Whereas like parents want to see what their kids are doing and like what they're up to. So I really liked this resource. Moving on to computational thinking lesson plan. I had so much fun with this lesson plan. I taught fourth graders with it about debugging, and it just was, it turned out so much better than I expected, because like I knew we were trying to make it engaging, but the fourth graders found it so much more engaging than I expected. It was full of activities, like just even the grabber. We had one of my peers like pretend to be a robot, and then the kids would tell him what to do, and like that was kind of part of the warm up. And then like the second part of the warm up that also helped explain what an algorithm was the ed puzzle, and that was just like an engaging video that also asked questions along the way. So it was interactive because like we got to call on kids to answer the questions throughout the video, and I think it kept them interested because they were so young. And then we had a board game activity, and overall like it was really great. The board game was also super engaging for them. They We had candy on it, and it taught them how to debug a problem. And now moving on to time graphics. I love this website because it's so much easier than making a timeline just on paper, because first of all, that's pretty hard to do um, on paper, like having to squeeze in writing so close together. And this one, you can really space it out, and then like you can zoom in. But the fun interactive part is like you can click on something and you can add a picture to it, and it tells you like how many years ago it was. And like here, this one has a video, Um, and like I made this time graphics on the um, the industrial the industrial revolution um, inventions. And yeah, I just like think this is such an engaging way to teach students about, like, you can even apply it to a plot in a book, honestly. And then finally I made a Kahoot, and I had never made a Kahoot before. I think I had played it once, and just this game is so engaging for students. It's so much fun. They can compete against each other, and it's very easily accessible. You just come up with a code and you like put it on the board, and then the students will access it from their iPad or computers, and like they love playing on iPads and computers anyways, but this one will teach them, well, it will like assess their knowledge of something in a competitive way that's like also a lot of fun. And like you have to keep your questions brief and the answers brief, so it kind of like keeps them on their toes, and like they can get their answers out faster and like practice just answering questions really fast. And I think it's a great way to practice their knowledge. So overall, this class I learned so much about technology. I learned that it really does not have to be intimidating applying technology to your classroom. It's actually really fun and exciting to like get your kids to learn in like very easy, helpful, interactive ways. And like technology, it's useful, it's a tool. So, like, why not use it for your classrooms? If we're living in a digital age, anyways, we might as well apply it to learning while we can. And I've just learned that I've also learned how to like evaluate the value of a resource, and I think that's a very useful thing I'll carry with me for the rest of my life as a teacher. And I'm excited to explore even more tools, and like I'm glad that I learned about so many others that like I can definitely apply to my classroom, and I'm not even a teacher yet. So I think this class was very beneficial for that.